Starting a small business for most is a dream. However, for some, they don't make it past the first year. I sat down with Paul Landy, owner of the Pyramid Alignment and Lube Auto Repair Shop here on the northwest side of Indianapolis, to discuss his business's 30-year anniversary and just what that means to him.
Makes me feel very happy, proud that I survived. I've watched places come and go, and guys who acted like they were going to be around, and I mean, I've seen, big box stores that didn't last a few years that came into the market. So it makes me proud that I'm still here, and I have clientele that I've been working on their cars for 30 years, and they still keep coming back.
I asked Paul about how the business came to be, and to tell me about the history of the shop, which he replied by saying,
Well, I always liked working on cars. I went to college for a year, went back for another semester, decided it wasn't for me. Left there, went to Lincoln Tech, graduated from there as an auto mechanic. Got a job with Firestone Tire and Rubber Company in Nora Plaza. Worked there for, it was probably close to a year, maybe a little less. Got into a car accident at the shop. Couldn't work on cars because I was hurt, but I was able to work, but I couldn't work on cars. So I got put into sales. Did a good job there. And they decided that they needed an assistant manager up in Noblesville, Indiana at the Firestone store there. Went to work there for 7 years. One day got a little upset because the guy that was hired in 2 weeks had worked for the company 2 weeks and was making a dime less an hour than I was, and went home, talked with my family, and there was a space in the shopping center that we had, and my dad said, maybe you want to open your own shop, and I was like, might not be a bad idea. And 30 years later, here I am still working and doing good.
He took me on a shop tour and told me about the lessons he's learned along the soon-to-be 30-year-long journey.
This is our shop. 3 bays, 2 LV pages, special sauce, less cheese, pickles, onion sauce, sesame seed bun. We have one big toolbox over there, small one over here, the alignment machine, our tire balancer over here is our tire balancer. Here's our tire changer. Not used much anymore these days because we don't do that much tire work. Oil filters, parts washer, brake lathe, press. Then we have our back storage room where we keep some extra parts we do, equipment.
Lessons, he says, that shouldn't be taken for granted, especially for those who want to start their own business.
Owning your own shop and not working for a big corporation, you got to pick and choose what you want to work on, when you want to be open, when you want to close, and you don't have to deal with bean counters telling you, well, you haven't sold enough of this and you haven't sold enough of that. I sell what's needed, only what's needed, and if it's not needed, I'm not going to sell it, and that's why I've been here 30 years. Probably the biggest tips you learn is you got to read people to know what their true problem is, instead of the people that just come in and say you figure out what's wrong, because you aren't going to satisfy that type of customer. I mean, my customers come in and they tell me what's wrong or try to explain the best they can. And sometimes you learn that you need to go on a test drive with them and let them tell you what the sounds they're hearing, not try to guess.
This is Evan Landy reporting.